Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be reviewing the Dior Backstage foundation. So this one I got a sample of, as you can see. It came in this little leaflet here. It came like this, so I've obviously used it. So this foundation comes in 40 shades, which is an amazing shade range. It has like 16 pigments and 6 undertones, which I think is really good. And it looks like it comes in quite light shades and quite deep shades, as you can kind of see from in here. This girl is like super pale, and it also has like photos on the website which kind of show the different shades on the models, which makes it a little bit easier for you to kind of find your skin tone. I feel like this is like a really inclusive foundation in terms of that kind of shade range. Now you see I don't have the lightest shade today. I have 1.0 neutral because that's what the sample came in. That was the lightest shade that I could get the sample in. So what I'll do is I'll insert swatches down below of this foundation in comparison to some of the other foundations in my collection. This is the Dior Backstage foundation in 10 and neutral. This is the CYO Long Lasting Life Proof foundation in 101. This is the Ordinary Coverage foundation in 1.0 neutral. And this is the Maybelline Superstay foundation in light beige. So I'm going to have a look at the claims. So this foundation is supposed to be like a second skin with a natural nude glow. It has enriching beauty enhancing pigments that fuse with the skin for a natural complexion. It's a waterproof formula that creates an invisible mesh and resists extreme conditions such as workouts, water, extreme temperatures and humid environments. It even resists the bright lights both backstage and above the catwalk. So obviously this is supposed to be like a model's foundation, so it's supposed to last ages. We'll be able to like test it in the heat because it is hot today. It's like 30 degrees outside, so we will see how this lasts on me. So do subscribe to my channel before you leave and press that notification bell before you do so you don't miss any of my uploads. So if you want to see how this foundation wears on my dry skin throughout the day, then please keep on watching. So the foundation came in a little leaflet like this. It's just stuck in here. I have the shade 1 neutral, which isn't the lightest shade, but it is the correct undertone. So it is just a really small little sample. It's 1 ml. So I'm hoping that this is enough to cover the entire face. So let's rip. And I've got some on my finger, let's not waste that. Now this is looking a little bit dark for me already, I can kind of tell. But this is supposed to be one of the lighter shades. Oh, orange. So I have what I think will be a decent amount on. I'm going to go in one side with my e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. And on the other side I'm going to use my Real Technique sponge. This is supposed to have like a glowy finish according to the package. And I definitely kind of see that so far. It's not looking matte at all. It's looking so far with the brush about medium coverage. Like I can still see quite a bit coming through. I'd say it's on like the lower end of medium coverage. It's blending a bit more into my skin. It doesn't look quite as orange until you then look at my neck. This isn't super glowy like the LA Girl Illuminating Foundation. It's sitting really nicely on my skin. It looks really nice so far. It's like a low medium coverage, which I'm really liking because it looks a bit more natural actually, and I think if this was the right shade for me, it would look pretty good. So I'm actually really liking it with the brush so far. I don't feel like I'm seeing loads and loads of brush strokes. I may see if it looks better like smoothed out with the sponge, but so far I think it looks really nice. I feel like it's looking more glowy so far with the sponge. Like it's blending into the skin, but it's a bit more of a sheer coverage. I would definitely say a light coverage with the sponge so far. Like it's soaking up product and just kind of giving my skin a little bit of a tan more than anything else. Why can I never keep my hair out of my foundation, even when I put a hair slide in? So actually this is looking really pretty with the foundation. It's still really nice and glowy, like it mattifies a touch on the skin once you apply it. At first it's like super glowy and now it's kind of like a semi kind of satin finish. But honestly, it looks really nice on the skin. It's light coverage at the moment, but it's supposed to be buildable. So I'll apply a little bit more on this side, I think, with the sponge and see how we get on. That's looking really nice built up. I got it to like medium coverage on the cheek. And it just still looks super nice and glowy. I feel like I need to smooth the other side out though with the sponge. Just gets rid of a bit of like the brush strokes that you don't like notice to begin with until you use a sponge and realise there are brush strokes. I feel like I actually like it a bit more on the brush side, just because I have like that coverage immediately, and it's buffed into the skin really nicely, and it just looks a bit more glowy actually, which is quite odd. I'm absolutely loving it. It looks so nice. If the colour was right, we'd have a lot more look. So I'm going to probably like build it down my neck, and then I might put the rest of my makeup on, and I'll be right back. So it's about 1 o'clock now, and I've had the foundation on for like an hour. I've eaten, set my face, all of that rubbish. I feel like it looks really nice on the skin actually. I feel like it's a lot more matte now. I only set my cheeks and my nose because that's what gets oily, but I don't see like on my forehead it looking super dewy or anything like that. It's settled quite significantly into the lines as well. Like I will blend this out like I have to normally with a foundation after about half an hour. I normally have to sort my lines out. However, with this one, I've sorted the lines out and they keep reappearing. Like it's settling quite significantly, which I find very off-putting because it's like the area that I like focus on because of that. Now it's not looking dry, it's looking really nice, and it's not looking super makeup-y. Like it's not natural, like you can tell I have foundation on, but it's not super makeup-y, so it's looking really good. And I'm really liking it so far, so I'm going to give you guys some updates throughout the day so you can kind of see how it wears. So makeup wise on the rest of my face, I use the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealers in C1 and C0. I brought it down a little bit further just to help kind of brighten the face up a little bit, as it is still quite dark on me. I don't feel like it's oxidised any further, however I've just like dragged it all the way down my neck as you can see. So hopefully I'll just like bronze my chest up depending on what I'm wearing, and we'll be good to go. So also to set my face, I used a translucent powder. I used the Maybelline Fit Me powder to try and help again brighten the look up a little bit. For my eyebrows, you'll be like impressed to know. By impressed, I mean like relieved. I used the Revolution Pro pomade in Ebony. So this, I think it could be a little dark. I wouldn't mind going like a shade lighter. However, the only problem with that is you then end up maybe venturing into the warm tones. So if I can get maybe a shade lighter in this, I don't think I'd mind. Maybe use that on the front of my brows. But I'm actually quite liking it. I also set them with the L'Oreal Brow Pumper as I normally do. And I just think that this combo is looking really good on my eyebrows at the moment. To contour, I used the Bleach London Contour Pan in Bones 4. I'm just feeling contour today, you know, I'm going out on a date, why not? And then I used the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. To bronze my forehead, I used the MUA Bronzed Matte Bronzing Powder in Solar. To highlight, I used the Revolution Face Quad in Incandescent. I used like a combination of these two shades here. For my eyeshadow, I used the original Soph X Revolution palette. For mascara, I used the Benefit Bad Gal Bang Bang mascara that you'll have seen in probably the previous video. I think that's what it's going to be, the previous video. But like, it just looks so good on the lashes, and I'm really like loving it today. It's a special occasion, why not? On my lips, I have the Maybelline Superstay Liquid Lip in Seductress. You can see how much I've used this. This sticker has like half worn off. I love this formula, it is so long lasting. And to set my face, I use MAC Prep and Prime. So I'll come back to you in 4 or 5 hours and we'll see how this foundation's lasted. Hi guys, so it's about 4 o'clock-ish, so I've had this foundation on for 4 hours now, and I thought I'd like give you an update. So looking in the mirror, this foundation looks a little bit like less matte than when it started. In the heat, I feel like I've got like a little bit of my oils coming through that I get on my T-zone. So I did powder my T-zone, I powdered here and here. I didn't powder my forehead, so it's not coming through like significantly enough either. It's not looking super oily or anything like that as of yet. It just looks quite nice and like glowy, actually. I really like how it's looking. My forehead lines are looking pretty severe still. I'm not a fan of that. But otherwise it is still looking really nice on the skin. It's looking very similar to when I put it on shortly before. I just think it looks really nice. It hasn't oxidised further, it's still a bit too dark, but there's not much I can do about that. It just looks really nice, and I feel like it's holding my product really well. It's not vanished as of yet, which is a good sign. So we'll see how it goes for the rest of the day. Hi guys, it's about 11 o'clock, so I've had this foundation on for 10 hours now, and I'm honestly quite liking how it's wearing. I mean, it has kind of like rubbed off here and here. It is looking a touch makeup-y, but honestly it's held fairly well. I feel like like my product's still there. I just feel like it still looks pretty good. I feel like I look a bit more like glowy, definitely in the areas that I didn't powder, and even in some of the areas I did powder, I definitely feel like fairly glowy. Apart from that though, it's held really well. It's not oxidized any further, but like I said, it has worn. So for example, I blended really well down my neck and it's gone all patchy. So because it is looking a bit patchy on my neck, I definitely say it's not transfer proof. And I just don't know, I'm just concerned that it might like wear patchy on occasions. For example, if you've got anything going like touching your face, anything like that. With foundation reviews, I'm super careful not to touch my face. But like this is where my hair's been, which is why it's transferred. So if you have a lot of problems with that, this isn't the foundation for you. But I'm not bothered by it. I think I've not got massively dry skin at the moment, so I can't say dry skin gals, you'll love it. But it's pretty good. I'm not mad about it. So if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you click that notification bell, you'll be notified every time I upload. Thank you for watching.